back to Mutilation 669, a podcast dedicated to my ADHD ramblings. If you like random topics spoken by a random person, this is your safe space. I am your host, Mina, reporting from the mothership. Guys, I understand. I know. But we're back this week, right? Everybody, let's calm down. This week's episode is a little special. I was debating on really doing it, sort of, only because this week's topic has been talked about a lot, especially the past few years, especially during COVID and then after COVID. This week's topic is Booktok. And you're going to be sitting there wondering, oh, here we go again, right? This is going to be another one of those. A random human female is going to talk about spicy books, yada, yada, yada. Well, is this podcast really normal? And am I really normal? Before we get into it, it's super funny. I got an email on my podcast email. And sometimes this happens. Sometimes, really weird. I don't understand, where they find me. Obviously, my email is out there, minations@gmail.com. Anybody can, write to me. I'm not saying it's like that. Anyways, random email I got. When was this? A couple days ago? Yeah. Basically, it's kind of spam, right? AI generated message or whatever. Basically saying my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm the founder of this random podcast hosting network, whatever. It's so funny. This is the second time this has happened, right? And it just basically says what my rankings are on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. This is so bizarre, right? It's so funny because obviously we are sort of in the precursor of AI, which is awful. I don't care what you say. I don't care about your opinion on AI. Personally, for me, it's ass. All right, good luck. It rips away human creativity. If you support AI, good luck. I won't say anything else. Apple Podcast rankings, though, top 3. There's only one. It's so funny. I'm number ranked. Mutilation 669 is ranked 57 for understanding autism. What? I'm honored, honestly. Understanding autism. My podcast is ranked 57 for that category is crazy. I'll take it. And then Spotify, there's 3. Number 44. This is my favorite one. Actually, I'm going to save that one. The 2 that are kind of weird because I clearly state in my show notes that this is not a political or religious podcast. I know Minations is a play on word of Revelations. I get that. I get it. I 100% get it. But it's satire, right? It's all for jokes. I'm ranked 53rd for religious thoughts and somehow 147th place for religious support. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't get it. Anyways, the funny part, ranked 44th place on Spotify. Somebody just help me realize what the fuck this means. Non-human comedian. I'm a non-human comedian, according to the discoverability, whatever, how people rank, how Spotify has ranked my podcast. 44th place. I am a non-human comedian. That is gonna be on my gravestone. That is the highest honor that I could ever have received, even if this is some AI generated ranking, blah blah blah, from this random. I don't even know what pod SEO even is. I'm afraid to click that link anyways. Yes, I'm a non-human comedian. I'm gonna change my biography to that. It's not just some random human girl, talking into a microphone anymore. It's literally, I'm an alien. I'm on a mothership, in the stratosphere, and I'm a non-human. So 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. That's just so funny to me. Anyways, let's dive right into this week. I know, calm down, I understand. Everybody's been waiting. I get it. Listen, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this podcast episode on Booktok, and it's going to be like your generic, let's talk about the popular ones. First of all, maybe you're sitting there and you're like, what the hell even is Booktok? Well, you know what TikTok is, right? Well, within the TikTok community, there is a sub-genre of people, like a sub-community. It's called Booktok, and it's, basically, it's a bunch of women who fangirl over specific books, right? And these aren't just any kind of books. This, you're not going to see Booktok and see women into historical nonfiction like the Roman Empire, right? See, I was listening to an audio book about the Roman Empire. But so am I a book talker? No, I don't think I am, because Booktok women, they're into some crazy shit, guys. Okay? And listen, before you come after my throat, if you're offended, you're one of these people, 100%. Okay? And I'm not here to bash on you. I'm just saying, TikTok, Booktok, there's a picture painted into people's minds on who you are already. And you know what? Take it with confidence, honestly. Okay? Mostly smut and spicy stuff are into Booktok, right? Especially monsters and darker themes. There are vanilla Booktok girlies out there, of course. Okay, Booktok isn't just for the smut and the weird shit, okay? It's for, just fantasy books. There are some brilliant fantasy books out there. But today, we are going to talk about some of the deranged ones, obviously. I have nothing but respect for you guys. If you are a person, doesn't matter what you are a part of Booktok and you know these books, like, I have respect for you, okay? My thought process, right? As an avid enjoyer of books since a very young age, I was a prodigy, you could say, especially growing up in an Asian household. I had to read, 5 novels a week type, and I got paid for it, so I love books. Okay, I will read anything from autobiographies of like Anne Frank to like weird, what do you even call those? I don't understand. Because like, it's like my music taste. It's very, very, very broad. I can pick up any book and read it and have an experience with it, right? I see my thought process going into this, I'm obviously on TikTok. So some of this stuff pops up on my For You page once in a while, and it's Booktok. Like, a woman, a TikTok content creator would be like, these are my top 5 Booktok recommendations, and it's majority, what I've noticed are darker themed, smutty books, right? And listen, more power to us, honestly. And I'm putting myself in there because I guess I have read a popular Booktok book or series. We'll get into that. Okay, listen. I think my theory is that men or whoever, you got to step up, obviously, because us women, for me at least, I love fantasy. That is my favorite genre. I love fantasy or science fiction because it's an escapism, right? Like, I love world building. D&D is I love that shit. I love people who are so creative and they can make this whole sort of fantasy setting, make their own cities and towns and countries. Like, I eat that shit up, right? It's an escapism, and I can understand that to an extent. We'll get into some of this shit, guys. Okay, anyways, popular Booktok books right now. Okay, A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I didn't know it was a Booktok thing until I started to read a couple of them, and then it just started to pop up on my For You page, like my phone is listening in on me. It's a fantasy setting. There's a few books. It's not a short series by any means. There's a lot of books in that series. Um, I'm not gonna do this episode. I'm not gonna do it like this. I'm not gonna do the whole. I'm gonna review these books. You know, there's a lot of great people out there who have done videos on obviously Aquatar. There's a lot. If you just search Aquatar review, boom, the internet is your playground. Go ahead. I'm just gonna just quickly, shout out some of the popular ones that I've been seeing that pop up all the time. So obviously, A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I believe she's the author that did the Spiderwick series. I don't know if you guys are nerdy like that, but if you do, shout out to you. Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo. Caraval, I don't know how you pronounce that, sorry, but Stephanie Garber is pretty popular. I see that everywhere. These are like, I know that they're, oh yeah, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yaros. I know that one's everywhere, and I think that's about like dragon riders and shit, and I know there's like a sprinkle of like spicy in there, because they're like fantasy/romance. Some of them lean more towards the fantasy aspect, some lean more towards the romance aspect. There's like a balanced mix for some of them. These books, if you've read them, are like vanilla. Like, you know what I mean? Because spicy book talk, like smut book talk, is a beast on its own. Like, there's a whole different class for these types of books and the people that read them, because it is so crazy. Like, trigger warning on a lot of these books. It's hard to believe, guys. I understand, but I just don't have the time to delve into the really dark aspects of books right now. I just don't have the time to sit down and read this shit. I would if I could and give you an honest review, because that would be kind of crazy. Half of these books that I just like glanced, there are trigger warnings, like pages dedicated to just saying they're morally gray themes. There's, consensual non-consent, there's kidnapping, things that are done to you against your will. Like, there's just it's some crazy shit. You know what I mean? That makes me think, like, the dark themes, the monsters. Like, why are we doing this? Why are we enjoying this, right? That's my initial thought going into it. I'm like, what is it? What is the purpose? Is it just for funsies? It's like, oh yeah, like there's this werewolf and his big red knot. Like, why? But then I realized, like, you know what? It's because people in real life just lack. It's like escapism, right? Some people are so against it, and that's your opinion. I respect it. And some people are so for it, and again, I respect it. It's your opinion. It's whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to judge you. If your husband can't put out, but you're like 6 books in, and this Wendigo is like the best thing ever, and it's like your escape, more power to you, honestly, right? Some of these books that I just briefly, really popular, smutty, dark themed books out there, it's some crazy shit, guys, right? Like, there are, obviously erotica has been here for ages, believe it or not. Your grandparents have probably read erotica. Like, I have to put that out there. We're humans. It's sexuality and sexual stuff has just always been something that humans have been fascinated by. It's natural, right? Like, I get it, whatever your grandma probably put out. I was researching, like, okay, for example, there's a book that a lot of women love, okay? And I was like, okay, what the fuck is this? It's called Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. And, I get it, right? Because it's so popular. The trope, like, oh my God, I want a masked man to chase me in the woods. Like, same, right? But this is it takes it another step. Like, the book goes into such detail of like a fantasy, right? Because these are escapisms, guys. Like, I have to keep reminding myself, like, women probably read these books to escape their just boring sex life. Because, like, no guy is gonna wear a ghost face mask and chase him in the woods, right? I get it. I get it. I put myself in these shoes and I try to get it, right? But it's just like there's some crazy shit out there. Another popular series, the Soul series, like the first book is Soul to Keep. It's about like a Wendigo. Opal Rain is the author of those. What else? Lights Out by Nevessa Allen is like a humorous romance, darker themed book. It's super popular right now because I know the second book is coming out. I think I saw that on TikTok the other day. Anyways, that one, yeah, Lights Out. I think it's another one about like a girl who likes masked men and wants somebody to like break into her house and shit. I'm saying like I think women just gravitate towards these books because it's an escapism. I mean, I'm not just saying just women. Don't come after my throat. I know guys and people in general gravitate towards these books because it's an escapism, right? Because maybe it's just a fantasy setting that they can't play out, so they are like living vicariously through the characters in the book. Like, I get it. All right, I get it. I do. Vicious Lost Boys series by Nikki St. Crow. That's another crazy one that I saw on TikTok. I was like, what the fuck is the Vicious Lost Boys? Lost Boys. It's in that like Peter Pan. Lo and behold, yeah, there's a whole smut series. And it's apparently really well written about Peter Pan and his boys. Yeah. So if you're interested, you can check out the Vicious Lost Boys series. This brings me, right, all this research, all this Booktok this, Booktok that. There's this book that I came across. And, you know, all these other ones, like, no matter how dark, if it's something you want to safely enjoy in the comfort of your home and your blankies, go ahead. I'm not judging you one bit. I will probably check out a couple of these books just for curiosity's sake. Like, I have to just reiterate this so many times, guys. Like, we shouldn't judge these people. The book is out there. We're just trying to escape maybe a bored bedroom, like a bland bedroom, or just fantasy, right? I get it. Until I got to this book. And I don't even know where to begin because I think I briefly glanced at this book once upon a time and I was just so taken aback by it that I just like my brain forgot about it. Then on my For You page on TikTok, this girl was saying you need to read this book, and I'm just going to say the title and let you guys process. It's called Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nacosta. And if you don't want to pause or, go on Google right now during the podcast to search the cover art, the cover page, it's literally a brunette girl, like a milk maiden, like nuzzling her head against a minotaur's chest. Yep, you heard me right. It's a fucking cow, right? And I'm like, oh god, here we go. This is the genre. Like this is from like a masked man who's a human man chasing you in the woods, right? Yada yada. Oh my god, I want to be chased. Whatever, adrenaline, to straight up bestiality. But like, I can't judge these people, like I said, because like, who am I to judge? Like, everybody has their own cup of tea, right? So, yeah, Morning Glory Milking Farm. And I was like, okay, there's got to be reviews. I don't want to read it personally, only because, like, what if it's good, low-key? And that's, like, my biggest fear, right? So, if you don't know Goodreads, it's a website where, everybody can post their book reviews on a plethora of different books, whatever. Like all the books that I've listed, there are reviews on them. Immediately, I was like, I don't want to read the whole book. I don't want this podcast to have book reviews like that. This is a comedy podcast, right? I want to talk about crazy shit. And this is got to be crazy. This is crazy. Morning Glory Milking Farm. All right. So it has a 3.69 out of 5 star review. It has 48,712 ratings, 9,524 reviews. So there's a lot of people that have read this. And this is not a big book. It is 247 pages. It was published August 3rd of 2021. So during COVID, right? Like this was like when we were all going crazy. So I kind of get it. Let me just read the summary because I haven't read it personally. This is just, when I glanced it, I'm like, this is content. This is crazy. Let me just read the summary. Violet is a typical down on her luck millennial, mid-20s, overeducated and drowning in debt, on the verge of moving into her parents' basement. When a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in neighboring Cambrick Creek, she has no choice but to grab at it with both hands. Pause. Okay, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that last sentence? Huh? Grab at it with both hands? Okay, so we know what's gonna happen. Continuing. Morning Glory Milking Farm offers full-time hours, full benefits, and generous pay with no experience needed. There's only one catch. The clientele is grade A certified prime beef with the manly, meaty endowments to match. Pause. We know what the fuck is up. Okay, we know what's in store for us, because what do you mean grade A certified prime beef with manly, meaty endowments to match? Like, we know this book is going to be crazy, right? Milking minotaurs isn't something Violet ever considered as a career option, but she's determined to turn the opportunity into a reversal of fortune. When a stern, deep-voiced client begins to specifically request her for his milking sessions, maintaining her professionalism and keeping him out of her dreams is easier said than done. Violet is resolved to make a dent in her student loans and afford name-brand orange juice and one... Wait, whoa. See, this is catching me off guard already. Like, what? Okay, I understand, like, you gotta pay your debts, girl. Like, I get it, get your money, but, like, what do you mean afford name brand orange juice? Continuing. And a one-sided crush on an out-of-her-league minotaur is not part of her plan unless her feelings aren't so one-sided after all. Morning Glory Milking Farm is a short human/monster romance novel featuring a high-heat, slow burn with a lot of heart and a guaranteed HEA. Trigger warnings include, guys, if you already don't know, like, if you are not a adult, you have been warned, right? These books, these things, these trigger warnings are not for the faint of heart. These are definitely mature themes, so just keep that in mind before you proceed. Trigger warnings for this book include cock milking. Yo. Non-human anatomy, size difference, and a lot of fluid. This can be read as a standalone. That's wild, right? Because, like, I knew this was a smut, but, like, wow. I still got kind of, like, taken aback by it. It's so crazy that there's... How many tags does this book have? There's so many. Monster romance, paranormal, monster smut, erotica, age gap, friction, urban fantasy, right? Monster smut, steamy, did not finish. Kink, hoopla. What the fuck did I just read? Honestly, that is a good tag for this. Spice, what the fuck is the tag? Taboo. I mean, honestly, like, there's 71 pages of tags, I think, under this. Top shelves for Morning Glory. Yeah, there's 7,000 tags. What the fuck is this? Romance Daddy Stern Brunch Daddy? What is that? What is that? Whoa. This is a really good one. Consent is sexy. Yeah, shocker, a lot of women do not like consensual stuff in these smutty books. Like I said, it is a fantasy thing, so I get it. Let me just jump down to the reviews because this is where the real meaty nitty gritty, like this is where the good stuff is, right? Because I didn't read the whole book, but you can definitely get a gist because these reviewers are putting in the fucking work. Okay, first of all, this, I'm not going to say who because I don't want to like really dox them, even though it is a public review and you can find it on Goodreads yourself. The first review, 3.5 stars, right? And the first two pictures is that fucking water buffalo from Zootopia. Oh god, this is it. This isn't what the hero looks at all, nor what I imagined to be, but the world building reminded me too much of Zootopia with mythical creatures. Like this is great. The unofficial tropes here. Glory hole plus massive minotaur dick plus a collection technician, which in simpler terms means stands for the person on the other side of the glory hole doing the milking. So we can already get a huge gist. We know the picture of what the freak milking farm is about. This person is so funny when they're writing this review. Like, I also really like the hero. I'm sorry, but damn, that Minotaur was hot. The way he was described. And the picture below that is like oof size and oof size large. There's a quote in the book. I have no doubt in my heart that I love my own child with everything in me. Other people's children, though, they're just terrible. So the female character in the book is like, it wants a child with him, but not human children, obviously, because God, that's boring, right? This person says the sex scenes, however, were a different story entirely. And I was debating, right? Because I'm like, yo, there's so many reviews on crazy smutty books, right? Because this is like, it became so popular. And I know they've always been popular, low key. But thanks to TikTok, it just blew up, right? There's a quote. There's some crazy shit in this book, okay? Whoever's writing was cooking. The backward drag of him pulling out made her throat stick. And then he was pushing back in further than he'd gone before, and Violet was positive she felt it pressing into her spine. What? Are you gonna get paralyzed? Are you gonna turn into a quadriplegic? Like, what do you mean pressing into her spine? Like, second quote, she knew how much he came, saw the evidence of his orgasms every week, but nothing had prepared her for being on the receiving end of 24 ounces of his hot milk. 24 ounces, guys. What the freak? She was able to feel it already dripping out of her, the obscene squelch of his erupting cock emphasizing the mess that was being made. What? Whoa. Whoa. This person is like crying, dying in the review. She's like, blah, 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 like, y'all, I'm sorry, but they didn't even move straight away. Just laid it in this squelching lake of cum. Like, what is happening, guys? All right, like, the quotes, she is in tears. This reviewer, I don't know why she gave this book a 3.5, because it looks like she was clearly enjoying it, right? Because she is, like, just typing random letters. You know, the fucking skull emoji, like, girl, be for real. I know you enjoy this book. This paragraph in the book is wild. Okay, here we go. Stop. First of all, what noise is that? She'd pulled back in surprise from where she knelt before him. Months earlier, a thin strand of drool connecting her mouth to his cock, only to watch her giant, strong boyfriend retch dramatically. I can't deal with gagging, he gasped, hunching nearly to where she knelt before him, horns cutting through the air. Herg, you gag, I gag. Don't do that again. What? What? So the bull, the minotaur, gags when she gags because it's like that weird like vomit thingy that people have. What is this? I I I'm in tears. Like I'm in bloody tears. There's more. There's a picture of a minotaur. Why is he like built like that? Like he has muscles and shit. Like I guess there's a picture of the minotaur and it's gagging the reviewer right now. There's a whole bunch of reviews. There's people who really like it. People who think that it's just it's people, I mean, people read some of these books because of TikTok, right? But then some people were like, this is what I needed. Don't tell my husband. Like I needed a sexy, big jizz monster minotaur cuddling me. Too many typos, I guess, were a lot of issues. A lot of people were saying that they liked this book because of how romantic it was. And it's like, okay, maybe there is some plot here, right? There's a quote. Once your room is set up and your client arrives, you'll need to ensure the collection unit is loaded and your client clipboard in order. Then there's only one thing left to do. Start milking. What the freak? What the freak? You probably think it's just a straight up smut, but no. The very sweet love story between the two, despite the very weird meat, is cute. It also has a surprisingly slow burn. I guess the Minotaur is a ladies' man. I guess he's a sweet talker. I guess people are saying like the timeline is a little bit messy. This book could kill a Victorian child. Honestly, same. Yeah. I could see it. I could see it. People are saying this was like surprisingly good. This is just, people are enjoying this a lot, actually. Anyways, this is just one book out of, I don't know, how many books? Morning Glory, Milking Farm. There's got to be a PDF, right? People on Reddit, what are people on Reddit saying? They were like, they're surprised. Like, people, yeah, this is my initial thing too. Like, this is not for me. A Minotaur MMC, just no. And then people are hooked. There's a post from the guys, if you like monster books, just go ahead and read it for me. Read it and then get back to me. I want to eventually do more. I want to find really, really, really weird, smutty Booktok books to talk about. And not in the sense like, oh, I want to do like a popular one, or I want to do like the generic. No. I want books like this. Morning Glory, Milking Farm. People are like, monster dicks, monster whatevers. Okay, it gets worse. Okay, I didn't want to read this, but there's people who are posting straight up like paragraphs. Most of the book is just Violet and Rourke. I guess that's the Minotaur's name, meeting at the farm, but when they finally start meeting outside of it, it gets to the juicy shit. Eating this pussy is going to be my new favorite meal. Anytime she wants to be stuffed with my fat bullcock, I'll be there to fuck you so good you won't be able to remember your own name. What? What, motherfucker? What? Fat bullcock? This would put a Victorian child into a coma. Oh my god, people are posting their favorite lines. I want to feel you come around my cock, Violet. I want you to squeeze me until your cunt has the permanent shape of me, because it's the only cock that's ever gonna make you scream like this again. Excuse me? Excuse me? Also, yeah, if you've made it to this far and you're like a minor and you shouldn't be reading this shit or hearing this stuff, like, shame on you. All right, because even as an adult, as a grown-ass woman, this is making me cringe. Okay, because what the freak? A permanent shape of me? Who's writing this? Okay, because this is clearly an escapism because your husband cannot put out, or your wife cannot put out, or whoever you're dating cannot put out. It was a juggling act. Keep in her mouth. Yo, I can't. Yo, people who are posting... This book is officially the standard of all monster novellas novels. Our eyes will never see the gates of heaven. Yeah, no shit. I have to stop it. I have to stop now. Okay, because, like I said, this is just the beginning, guys. All right. Morning Glory Milking Farm. Like, you think this is bad? Like, I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I'll let you guys do the research. A Dragon's Bride. Okay, there's that book. Apparently there's 2 penises. Like, okay, interesting. Ice Planet Barbarians is another popular smut book. Kiss of the Basilisk. I wonder what that one's about, right? The Barbarian Lover. I wonder what that one's about. Whispers of the Deep, and it's a mermaid man on the cover. I wonder what that one's about. Like, I'm not judging. Listen, if you are one of these people who are like eating this shit up, good for you. I'm so glad there's a market for it because honestly, I should write some crazy shit, right? I think I'm gonna write a book about a hamster man who's like a were hamster, and he has a huge ball sack. And yeah, it's gonna be international bestseller. Oh my god, I have to do another. I have to do. There's so much stuff going on in the podcast, guys. I know there's a lot of mini series. Okay, I do Reddit deep dives. I do weird, random, real life stories about me in Korea. There's a lot going on in this podcast. It's always random. It's always a random topic every week. But listen, I want to talk about really weird, cringy, smutty books once in a while, only because it satiates my curiosity without reading the whole book. Because like I don't think I could put myself through it. Okay, when he's a fat bullcock, that was it for me. Pause. If you're into that, good for you. But for me, it's just, I just want to read the reviews and be done with it, right? Anyways, if you have a weird book that you want me to sort of, I would read it, honestly. If you want me to review a book, email me at menalations@gmail.com. This week's episode was a little short, but, you know, it's short and sweet. Wink, wink. Yeah, Booktok, guys. Crazy shit. If you're a guy out there and you have a girlfriend, she's definitely has dipped her toes into some of these. Like Akotar, honestly, like a lot of people say it is on the spicier end. There are scenes that are spicy, but overall, it is more fantasy, and it's so good. I like them. The Cruel Prince is also, there's no spicy in that one, and if you're somebody who wants like a nice strong female lead fantasy setting, you will fall in love with the fucking characters. And Prince Carden in the Cruel Prince series. Love them. By Holly Black, by the way. So yeah, those are like the more vanilla books, TBH. But yes, there are definitely really, really dark books out there. I think there's one about some mafia kidnapping and like some guys like tattooing shit on her without her consent. It's some wild shit, okay? And it's like, if you're into that, good for you. I will be on the back burner. I would be lurking, right? Once in a while, I will find a really, really weird book to talk to you guys about. And that's how we'll do it, because Booktok is so big. I don't want to sit here and review books that I have already have a whole bunch of reviews, because, you know, that's said and done. I'll find weird books like this, like Milking Farms and Bull Dick, right? And share it with you, because I love sharing the weird shit with you guys that I love so much. But yes, that was this week's book talk. This week's episode. Yeah, questions, comments, concerns, if you have books that you want me to review or check out or whatever, even Reddit. I don't care. If it's a story that's weird, email me at menalations@gmail.com. What is it? I do have a Patreon. If you'd like to support me, the show, and get a shout out, my Patreon is linked in the show notes below. As always, it was another chaotic week at Menalations, my disciples. Thank you so much for, taking your time to, listen to fat bullcocks and milking and glory holes. I will see you all next week on a random topic that I'll never know until last minute. Adios.